everybody, I'm Tasha from the Major Change Group, and today I want to talk about payment history because payment history is very important on our credit report. And you guys, you are not going to believe what happened to me. I actually forgot to make a payment on one of my credit cards, and I was able to call the credit card company up and get them to reverse the late fee that they gave me, and they even reversed the interest that they had charged me. So let's get into it. So we know that when we take a look at our credit report, our payment history is very high. So our payment history is 35% of our credit score. We have payment history, our credit utilization, our length of credit, our new credit, and our credit mix. Now, if you really want to increase your credit score fast, you really want to tackle your credit utilization, because if you pay those debts down on your credit cards and get that utilization 30% or lower, you will really see an increase on your credit score. But see, the thing is, when it comes to our payment history, is 35% of our credit score. But once you get a couple of those late payments on your credit card, it's really hard to get those off of your credit report, because really it's going to be on there for like 7 years. Now, when I talk about my credit score, I have discussed that I had some late payments on my credit report, but even with me having the late payments on my credit report, I still have a fairly high credit score. It's upward of 750 or higher, but I'm still, and I really want to get to 800, but it's like those late payments are really, bringing my credit score down. Now, see, the thing is, the other day I had got an email from Navy Federal saying that, great job with my payment history. And I was just like, that is really good, seeing that last month I had this, I guess you could say late payment, well, really past due. And it's a difference between past due and late payment, because you know how, let's say your due date. So on this credit card, my due date was probably like June the 11th or something like that. And so all these days had went by and I did not make a payment. So they slapped that late fee on there, and they even slapped interest on there. And so, y'all, I ended up getting a call like 13 days later. I'm in Walgreens buying stuff, and it's just like, your credit card is 13 days late. I'm like, y'all just now telling me that my credit card is 13 days late. And so I'm just like, man, I really done messed up. But see, what happened was, this was for my Citibank card, and I have the thank you rewards, and I really don't use this credit card that much. And so I had paid all of my other credit cards off. But see, for this credit card, when I looked at it, it didn't have no charges on it. But what happened was, a charge, you know how you have those recurring charges on your credit cards, but this was like something that only comes out like one time a year. So here it is, this one time it comes out, and then I didn't look at it, and then I end up getting a late fee on there. So I'm just like, dang, I'm like, that ain't even right. But it was my fault because I didn't, go back and look at it. And so what I did, I ended up calling the bank. It was Citibank. I ended up calling them, and I was just like, I don't make late payments, on this credit card. I had this credit card for so long. Is it possible for you to reverse the late fee? And so they had charged me a late fee, and they had charged me interest on the credit card. But I was just like, on the one hand, I didn't know that I could ask for them to, take the interest off. So I was like, I'm not going to go that far, but I'm just like, I am going to ask them to reverse that $30. So here, let me share my screen. So you can see here, late fee, $30, and then they charged me interest. So I'm just like, dang. So I'm just like, well, I'm gonna call and I'm gonna see if they will reverse it. So I called and see really what they wanted me to do. They really wanted me to go ahead and pay the 121, and then she said she was gonna reverse it. And I'm just like, you know what? How does that make sense? How does that make sense that if I make the payment, then you're gonna be reverse it, then I'm gonna have a credit on the account? And so, since I had this credit card for so long, I really just wanted to, because I'm like, I will close this card, but I didn't want to go that far because I'm just like, since I had this card for so long, I didn't want to risk the chance of them closing the card. So I said, I'm not going to do that. So I didn't go too far. And but I was just like, well, ma'am, can I speak to somebody else? So then she transferred me to somebody else. And he was just like, okay, well, I see that you've been a member with us for, so many years, all these years, and we appreciate your service. And I see that it doesn't happen that often. And so they ended up reversing the $30 because I had went ahead and made the payment of the $90. But I said, I'm not gonna pay the $30 in the interest. Well, actually I did pay the interest, but I said I wasn't gonna pay the $30. So they ended up reversing the $30. And then he said, I'm going to reverse the $1.39. So I'm just like, dang, that is so good that they did that. I could not even believe it. So you can see here, I made the payment for the $91, and then they reversed the $30, and then they reversed the $1.39. So I actually have a credit of $1.39 on the account. But I'm just like, wow, that's crazy that they had reversed the interest, because I was just like, I wasn't going to go that far, but they did. Now, the good thing about this is that really it was past due. It wasn't a late payment, because I had went past my due date, but I was still within the month that I could make the payment. So long as I made the payment within that month, when they reported to the credit bureau, it wasn't going to have a late payment on there. And see, that's the thing. Let's say when you are, taking a look, and if you feel like you can't make a payment on your card or something like that, even though like when I did it was an accident, it's really good to contact, your creditor and all that kind of stuff, and make arrangements if you can, because as long as you can pay it within that month, then possibly they can waive the late fees, and then it's not going to have the late payment. Because if I was to not have looked at it and then in July made the payment, then it would have been a late payment on the account, and it would have went against my credit report. And then, especially since I've been having all these months, well, really like 2 years, even though Navy Federal just sent me something yesterday saying, well, great job. We're having 6 months of good payment history. And so I was like, well, that's really good. But really, it's been longer than that. It's really been 2 years. And so I'm just like, I really want to make sure that I'm on it. So I'm just like, I gotta stay on it. And I can't really be playing around. But see, that charge is just kind of stuck on for me, because it was just like a reoccurring charge from over a year. But I would say the main thing is, as long as you don't let a payment go over the next month, and as long as you have your accounts in good standings within that month, even if you pay it and it's past due, as long as they don't put those late fees on there, or you can get them waived. And then if you don't do it that often, because see, like for me, since I didn't have, especially with this credit card, since I don't make, late payments on this credit card, and really on all of my stuff, I really don't do the late payments. But I had this loan that I co-signed, and we wasn't in good standings for a while, but now we're in good standings. And so that's how I ended up getting all those late payments on my credit report. But overall, if you feel like you can't make a payment to the creditor, as long as you give them a call within that month and you have your accounts in good standing within that month, a late payment will not be posted on your credit report. And that's the main thing. So let me know in the comments, have you ever had it to where if you did make if you was past due on a bill and you paid it within the month and they had added a late fee, have you been able to get that waived? And have you ever been able to get your interest waived too? So let me know in the comments. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. It's not a game.